Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Scoop and Trudy. We grooving in here. That music is hot.
Trudy.
I'm Scoop.
I'm Trudy.
And that's Trudy.
I'm Trudy.
That was that music. It felt so good.
We needed that. Girl, I want to thank you. I want to congratulate you.
Congratulate me.
This paper looks good.
Thank you so much.
Look at that, a full page color right on the front page.
Yeah.
That's saying something. Oh, what are you doing to me, Scoop? Okay. He's trying to put me out. I'm trying to show her what I think is just gorgeous. Everyone looks great. Where was this? What happened?
So the Philadelphia Mass Jig had a banquet. I want to say on the 13th, almost 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
And they have a lot going on. They were actually given a grant by Sacred Spaces in Philadelphia, and they have a architecture company that's came in to actually look at their building and help them redesign it so that they can make use of the empty space and actually make it more of a community type space. So during that, they had a banquet to collect some money and also to congratulate people and honor people in the neighborhood.
This is the first time I've seen, or a long time, since I've seen Councilwoman
Janie?
Yeah, Janie looking so good. She looks great.
She won an award that night. She was recognized. They actually recognized maybe 5 or 6 people as game changers.
I see. And then there's Ducky.
Yes.
I know him, and I know a lot of the face, and that's you in the middle.
I know.
Y'all looking so pretty.
Thank you much.
So nice. As a matter of fact, congratulations. I started off by saying congratulations. You've been with Scoop or Boston Scoop around for about a year now.
I know. It's my 1-year anniversary next week. You threw that in there. You weren't supposed to do that. You are great. So sneaky.
Yeah, that's great. And you've been doing so many wonderful things with the paper, and it's just wonderful. I'm proud of you.
You know what? This is a happy time, but it's an interested time because a year ago this time I was in an entirely different place. Mr. Driver was in the hospital. We were making some decisions about going forth. So I'm I'm happy to say that I made it a year, but it's emotional.
It passes quickly.
But it's so emotional. It's like a solemn sadness. You want to be happy and celebrate, but you also want to acknowledge where you were and all of the things that happened last year this time, that it's just so unbelievable that it just happened. So it's, I don't know.
Folks, you'd be very proud of this lady.
Oh, thank you.
And she's a mama, too. And a housewife, too.
I haven't been a good housewife for the past year. We're not even going to fake that. I thank God for my husband, because my husband is my Mr. Mom, and he makes it happen.
Oh, that's
if
great.
I didn't have him, I would probably be hairless. Seriously, because
she's just bopping her head around with this ponytail and looking just young and sharp with the boots. Where they come all the way up. They're leggings.
Yeah.
Okay, girl.
We're trying to do a little bit of damage.
Bag.
That's the voice over there.
Stop trying to take a plug. I told you I wasn't going to give him no more credit.
Give the man some props.
So, real quick. So, 2 weeks ago on this show, we were talking about my birthday and how I got nothing. So, during the show, while I was opening my mouth and being so mean to my husband, I got a text that I didn't know I got to say to meet him at Saks. So after the show, I was taken next door to Saks Fifth Avenue to get my birthday gift, which is why Shorty is saying hint, hint. I got a pocketbook. You know, my favorite is shoes, pocketbooks, and diamonds. One of the three. So I got a nice new winter bag for my birthday. So
I saw that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, so Shorty won't let me let it down because I was told I had to acknowledge, since I so boldly and publicly messed him up by saying he didn't get me anything. I have to let the world know now that yes, I did get a gift. Yes.
So that's nice.
You good now? You good?
Okay. It's been a big week for me too. Big month.
Yeah, congratulations to you.
Well, the Philly Cam, or they call them the Cammy Awards.
I hear.
The other night, and you've got a picture of me on page 12, folks. Page 12. But anyway, aside from that, I won a Presence Award.
A what award?
The Presence Award. Now,
Oh, okay.
You were there. Now, what is the Presence Award?
It was the President's Award for television.
What does the President's Award mean?
The president, I was there. Or what?
Well, that's a presence.
Well, listen, I want to tell you, it's not too far advanced because I was also made aware that my 50th show is coming up very soon on that show, on Philly Camp.
I know. So what are we going to do?
A party.
I'm going to have a good show.
We're going to have a party on the show?
Well,
can we do balloons?
Yes.
Can I come?
Yes.
Of course.
I can come?
Oh,
You
you
can
better
put the
come.
I
party
can come
together.
on the
Yeah,
show and
yeah.
we can do balloons. I love balloons.
Okay, you can bring. She's the balloon lady. But my 50th show is coming up. We're
Okay.
making that special, aren't we?
All right.
Yes, we are.
Okay. And also, the award, I'm being acknowledged for being old on Saturday, this coming Saturday, day after tomorrow. That's Saturday.
Oh,
Friday, Saturday,
at
at the Pennsylvania or Philadelphia Association of Black Journalists.
Is it Saturday or
Yes.
Sunday?
No.
It's Saturday.
I believe it's Saturday.
It's Saturday evening, and they're having the event or the banquet at WHYY, and I'm being acknowledged for being a founder of that organization, which started for me in Detroit with a very admirable young man at that time. His name was Chuck Stone.
Oh,
And
I
think-
remember him.
Yeah, and he came to Philadelphia to write, and I followed him
Writer.
almost to Philadelphia. Then he went to Washington. He went on his own there.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed in Philadelphia, thank goodness, because I can thank millions. You got that? Millions, I hope. But I have so many friends and followers, and I'm so happy, and I'm very happy to say to them, thank you.
Aw.
Yeah.
Well, I think that people have to acknowledge those who made it possible. So
Well, I
if
hope
had
so.
it not been for you getting that dictionary and going out
Now, I
and,
went
and
to
studying
I
at
went
the
to the
airport,
Weather Bureau.
yeah,
Went to the Weather Bureau.
in the airport, right? You
And
said.
in the airport, yeah.
And had you
and-
not taken those steps, only God knows where a lot of us would be.
Oh, that's true. But I was there. I took advantage of an opportunity, which I want to encourage so many people to do that. When the opportunity knocks, do it. Take it. And go from there.
it's a
Yours
leap.
knocked.
Yeah,
have to do it.
that's
You
a
have to
heck of
take
a
it in.
leap.
Yeah.
And
So-
it's not easy.
And don't be afraid of it.
It's not
Okay,
supposed
all
to
you
be
can do
easy.
is not make it.
No,
So the whole
that's-
action is
yeah.
to make it.
Not making
Because
it
you
is
only
not an
have that.
option once you take those
Nothing.
leaps.
You're right.
It's not an option.
It's hard, but it's been fun.
It's always
Yeah.
going. You have to see the good in everything, be it difficulties, hardships. You just gotta look beyond all of those things and recognize what it is you're doing, why you're doing it, and the good that's going to come out of it.
Well, even if you don't recognize all that, do it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a life. It's living. You're going to have some disappointments, but if you don't forge ahead, you're not going to meet them.
Yeah, so I needed you today, so thank you. Seriously, because ever so often I had those push me days.
We've all had them.
Those push me
But
days.
you had at least a family around you that could
Oh no, those
support you.
people get on my nerves.
Oh.
I gotta run from them.
We'll be right back. We did a rest for this. We're back.
So you beating me this week. I'm having too much fun because I usually beat you every single time.
What?
To say we're back and we're leaving.
We're back. But I did want to just acknowledge the fact that we are concerned about other things that go on in our country. And I feel very down about the caravan that's headed our way from other countries, and I hope everything will work out okay. It isn't that we don't talk about those things, but we can't do anything about them, talking about them, I don't think. But we want you to know that we're fully aware of those things that are happening in the country and the scary bomb threats and death threats that many of our citizens are receiving. So
Yeah, I think that and I'll going off of what you said, it's something that in my lifetime I had never thought I would see or hear of at the levels that they are. So it is something that we can only hope for better and pray that the people who are in Mexico now walking, I can only hope and pray that they make it safely and that whatever it is that God has in plans for them, that they are alive and well, and especially those babies. I mean, you have to really acknowledge the fact that, you know, they are struggling for some things that most of us take for granted.
Exactly. So,
You know, so we have to definitely acknowledge the importance of the fact that, number one, my daughters definitely take a lot of things in life for granted. And I think that if I was faced with the decisions that they're faced with, that I don't even know if I could push myself to begin that walk.
well, it brings us right up to the point that what we have here to make it work and to take advantage of it. And to see
No,
the
definitely.
Right things
You have to
that we
take
can do.
advantage of everything that God has given you.
Yeah.
And be thankful
And
for
thankful. That's the
it.
main
Be
thing.
extremely thankful for it, because you never know.
No, that's
You
true.
know, you never know what position you may be in. And that's not just the people who are walking, the people who were in the storms a few weeks ago. Like, you just never know what God
gonna
may
happen.
throw at you and what you need to take to get out of it. You know, that faith. Faith is an amazing thing. And you have to have the faith to know that every lesson in life is a learning lesson, and you got to move forward.
And you got to move forward and take advantage of those things that are offered to you, like voting.
Oh,
You
yes.
have to get out there and vote next month? Next
it's-
month.
Yeah.
And it's
in
about 2 weeks, not even
week
2
and a
weeks.
half.
Yeah.
a
Not
week
even
and a
2
half.
weeks away. So please get out there and vote. And I'd like to remind everyone to get their flu shots, because that helps too, to take care of yourself, and also to get pneumonia shots if you need them. And ladies, get your mammograms.
So you just like threw me on the bus 1, 2, 3 times. Like I done got ran over by every wheel except for one on the bus. I am done right now.
You had your mammogram. You
No,
had
I
the flu
haven't.
shot,
My birthday
and
was
you
2
had-
weeks ago, so it's time for my mammogram. It's time for my flu shot. It's time for, and I've been avoiding the doctor.
No,
because-
go. Come on, baby. That's
I'm
the
going.
thing that you have to do for yourself.
I'm
And not
going.
you. I know you're going to do it. But,
I'm going, but I
there are
just
people out there who think that they don't have to. And
See,
it's very
no.
important to take care of yourself, because if those
'Cause we
those
need
thousands
you.
of people that are walking here get into the country
Mm-hmm.
and then get dispersed different places, you don't know who you're going to meet. So take care of yourself, okay?
Aw.
Take care of yourself, please.
Well-
Okay, Shorty, what's up? Oh, he killed him. I killed him. He's supposed to get his. That's what it is. He didn't get his shots yet.
So
No, I have not.
just in general, it's very important to get all of those things to make sure that you stay healthy.
It is important. It's very important.
because-
Wash your hands.
Because just as and to bring it a little closer to home in New Jersey, the situation where they have, what is it, the hospital where there are
Yes.
kids who have became
They had
extremely ill, and I think one of
Had to
them
put them on
they're quarantined.
quarantine. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So getting things such that will avoid or help your immune system be a little bit stronger so it can fight off these things are very important. So I do agree.
Yeah.
And there are people who just don't do it. And there are those of us
That
who,
we can do it.
there are
That's
those
what
of us
hurt
like
yeah.
me who use things as excuses to not make it to the doctor.
So you're gonna go tomorrow?
Heck no. First of all, my doctor is so important. I'm probably going to be on the waiting list to go get a flu shot. Yeah. She is one of those doctors. I am so blessed. My doctor, and I'll tell you real quick, my doctor is a doctor who was my grandmother's doctor on my mother's side. She ended up being my grandfather's doctor on my father's side, and she was my mother's doctor.
How
So
old is
she...
she?
You don't
She-
see that much anymore.
So-
It used to be that way when I was a child.
She is, I want to say I'm 48. So she has to be late 50s. But she started in med school working with them. So she knows my history, and my history.
See, you
So-
don't see that anymore.
So when I go see her,
Just don't see
she
it.
can fight me as if she was like, your grandmother had this, your grandfather had that, this, that, and the third, and you need to do this, that, and that. So that's part of the
That's why
struggle
you don't go.
of going to see
Understood.
her.
But you
It's-
know, that isn't happening in most homes.
No,
anymore.
it doesn't, which is why it was very important for me to make sure that she was my doctor,
Yeah.
because she knows all of my sides. And my grandmother actually had heart disease when she died, and she had pneumonia. but she knows all of those intimate,
Yeah,
like your blood, this, that, and the third, and she can look at different records.
The doctors always ask you today, what about your history?
Yeah, she don't have to ask those questions.
Yeah, right.
So it's
if you have a doctor like that, keep him or her because it's very rare.
It is. So it's a total blessing.
Did you ever get your DNA?
No, I haven't. I'm
not interested. I don't care. I really don't care. I don't care who he was. It's 200 years ago. I don't care. I'm not that concerned. I don't care if I was Portuguese or Italian or
I
Chinese.
actually know enough about. I know a lot about my family history, and interesting enough, though, after becoming the owner of the paper and being a lot more public, I have found maybe so much more about my history and my family and the things that they've done than I would have ever imagined. I have cousins and aunts and uncles and people who are just there who didn't know I existed.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God.
Well, I don't mind learning about the history.
Yeah, but I don't need to know everything else.
Yeah, I don't need to know who my great-great-great-great-grandfather was.
But with learning that, I've learned all of those, the actual background. Like
I would love to learn about the
heritage.
time when they lived, what was going on, because Shorty and I were talking today about the times of change and how they've changed, and he's trying to convince me that things are better today.
You know what? I sometimes struggle with the thought of that too. And I'm in my 40s again, as I say, but when I think back to growing up, even though I grew up in the projects, but the way life was, the way everything seemed,
it was a little quieter.
It was better. It's better.
Well, I grew up in the tenements in Harlem.
I grew up in Philly on 25th and Ridge, and I could walk outside and go and run and hang outside and go to the store and go play pinball because
and come home at night
and walk outside at night, and there was no restrictions on age, so I could go to the bar for my grandmom and I could do different things, and it didn't feel the same. It wasn't as restricted or scary as it is now.
Well, like I said, I grew up in the tenements in Harlem, and we were friends. Any parent or any adult that lived on that block knew who you were, who the children were, and how to reach your parents or guardians or whoever it was at that time. And
it's so much
they
different.
were always knocking at my aunt's door. That little girl, them yours, whack.
And it's so much. There's a big difference.
Because
There
I was
definitely
a tomboy. I escaped through every loophole. I tried to. You wouldn't believe it.
I can see that.
Anyway, you can see that.
It explains a lot.
Oh, okay.
So while things are technically supposed to be better, when you think about the
but
differences
there were
in
quieter times, I think.
the things that we've lost, it's
and the respect for everything around me. I respect things around me. I respect Shorty.
Really?
Yeah.
You're gonna make me
I fuss
cry.
with him all the day, but I love you.
I love you too.
Okay.
all right. So while we loving each other, we gonna breathe for a minute.
Okay.
It's a wonderful life.
Yeah.
I'm gonna save you as often as I can. I got you. Don't worry about it.
That was a great save, by the way.
I'm like,
we can't tell y'all what we were talking about off the air, but great save.
So we are coming. This half hour goes so quick. Like, we laugh, we joke, we talk a little bit serious each and every week.
You had some ideas for this show. You said you wanted some people to reach us, and
I keep going back and forth with that. I think that I want to help people who need help. So I think we need to talk off the air about that, because there's some people in this city who are doing some good things that people don't know anything about. And
I'd like to sure make people aware of it.
And I think that if we can help people who really need that push,
Well, that's not really what you're talking about, though, in contact with our audience, are you?
Yeah, I'm saying to use this as a platform, as an opportunity to introduce people So maybe we can figure out how we can do that, and every other show or something, bring somebody on who actually really needs that help.
I'd like that.
Yeah. So I mean that's because I as a newspaper owner who's a community person who's entrenched in the community, I get firsthand to see.
Oh God, yes.
Exactly what's going on, who needs some help, and how we can try to do something to make it better.
Okay, between the radio show, my TV show, your newspaper,
we gotta make something. Yeah, we gotta use this to the benefit of what it can be, and actually really help people.
That's a go.
Yeah, because I see that as being my God-given blessing, and what I was put in this position to do is to touch people's lives in a positive way, which is what the paper is doing. If you read it and you notice that the transition and the changes that we've been making are more so to really emphasize.
I like your photographer, by the way, in your paper.
Oh, I have a few photographers. Mendelsohn. He actually, he's not my photographer though. He's a friend who just happens to lend me all the support I can.
Is everywhere I go.
Yeah, whenever I'm somewhere and he's there, he'll help
around.
me.
He's always around, and he's always taking the pictures.
But I've gotten that support from almost everyone's photographers. Like people who see me because I think they understand the struggle that I'm going through as a new owner, and really not knowing people and not knowing where I am half the time.
Not knowing people.
Yeah.
You've been everywhere.
Well, that's because I've been invited to everywhere, and I'm learning people, and people are learning me.
Yeah.
But, on the surface, I'm new. I'm the new person. So they have been really supportive in pushing me out there. Like, I think at the NAACP thing, it was so interesting because they're like, walk around with your paper and take pictures. And I'm like, okay. My husband's like, they said that you need to walk with this. I was like, okay, I guess. And it was great because he looks at me when I'm going out as if I'm hanging out and having fun. So for somebody to hand him the paper and say, tell your wife to walk around and take pictures, he was like, oh, you really working. Right. Like it isn't just like, you're just hanging out. You actually are physically going out here with a mission and trying to make sure that people see and know what's going on in these places.
Yeah. Wasn't there something that the Made Men did recently? It keeps going around in my head. The Made Men.
The bank that
I didn't see anything in here, but
that was a week ago.
Oh,
yeah, that was.
I lost that one. Shirley.
No, you're right. We talked about it. I think Shelley talked about it when they were doing barber cut. They were cutting hair in Germantown.
I didn't talk about it, so I missed it.
I think they. Well, I wasn't physically there. Another one of my writers.
I was there a year ago, but
one of my writers went there this year, and she did a story on it. Shelley Williams. She went. And she talked about the good things they were doing. They were in Germantown. They had like an open forum discussion, and they were cutting some of the youth's hair.
Now I see the Black Congresswomen, the Congress of Black Women.
Yeah,
rather.
that was the domestic violence summit that we talked about a couple of weeks ago when I talked about domestic violence and how I had suffered from it. And their summit was that Saturday, and that was a great summit.
Now, you said they're planning to do something else?
They're going to be doing something else in the spring.
Okay.
But I think throughout the year...
That's something we can do, too, let people know when these things are coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
If we know, that means they have to kind of send us some information.
Yeah, that's the most important thing is being on that list to get that information so that people know.
So if you have something going on, please let us know. Do we give out our emails or something? Or...
Well, I'm easily found, and I think you are as well.
Yeah, Trudy Haynes at Comcast. Or
Trudy Haynes at gmail.com.
Yeah, and I'm just Scoop USA Media. If you look me, you just have to type Scoop in.
Okay.
And I should come up. So
say
let us know what you're having,
what you're doing. Google me. I want you to say
Google me. Okay. Please let us know. We can't keep up with everything. And they used to have, when I first went into radio, TV, they used to have these machines that would advise
like
you with everything, like
a rolling a reel or something.
That would come and and you look at it and it's something, But now we need you. We need to know what's going on. So don't be afraid to let us know, and have a blessed day.
Thank you. And this is Scoop and Trudy. And we're saying...
I'll say my own name.
You feisty mom.
Get my name in there, then. Don't forget about Shorty.
Okay, you can come on in.
Thanks for having us again.
Have
God
a blessed
bless.
day.